What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog, coming to you hot from Austin, Texas, in my office. And I had to give out some local love here, you guys. I met this young man at the FidCon we had, and he just had good energy. I started following him on the Instagrams, and I'm like, oh my goodness, look at this little hot shot here. He's working it. So I look up one day, I'm on YouTube, and all of a sudden I see his face. I'm like, I think I know that guy, and he was on Bigger Pockets rookie series. And so I just said, you know what? I got to reach out to this guy. Let's see if he'll give me some good information here today. Please say your full last name because I'm going to murder it. So I just want Andres, give me your full name. Tell the audience who you are.
Andres Bustamante.
Bustamante.
Yes. I know it's a long one, so sometimes people butcher it, but that's understandable.
It's okay. It's okay. So, you've had a very interesting journey here in Austin, Texas, but you're originally from
El Paso, Texas.
El Paso.
Texas, but it seems like it's not because it's like 9 hours away. 9 hour drive to all my El
Nice.
Pasoans. They know the struggle.
Oh my goodness. So you came here for college, for the vibe, for the music, for the what?
For college, I got
Mhm.
accepted into the University of Texas at Austin, the business school McCombs.
Mhm.
And I mean, that's right away when I got accepted, I said, I'm going to UT Austin.
I love it. I love it. So you got out here and you thought, okay, I need some work. I need to do something part time. What made you want to become a real estate agent? Because I always tell my people, I'm like, don't become a real estate agent. Go be a appraiser. Go be a home inspector. Go do anything because it takes dedication. It takes a strategy.
Well, the big thing for me, I feel like a lot of people relate at that age. You know, you're in your teens and you're like super independent. Oh my gosh, I'm leaving my house, and I don't want to have to rely on maybe my parents or anyone to like get me the income that I need to pay for college, do this and that. That was my mindset, and I knew that working a normal job would not get me the income necessary to pay for college, to go out and have fun, which I did in Austin, of course, and to do other things, you know? So I said, what job allows me to work hard and get as much money as I deserve, but also at the same time be my own boss and set my own schedule? Real estate.
I
So I was
love
like,
that.
perfect real estate. I started with apartment locating.
And if you guys know here at the Classic Climb, I always talk about hilarious stories from my days as a property manager and apartment locating and like how crazy Austin was for a while where
Yes.
people just show up like, I need an apartment right now. And you'd be like, what? Um, and so apartment management, just to give you guys a little brief summary of it, apartment locating, a tendency was, let's say the apartment's $1,200 and Andreas takes someone to go see it and they sign for that apartment and they have it, they love it. That apartment complex will give him a commission check for 1,200. Now that's 100% commission. That's like if they give you the 100% of the first month's rent. There are a lot of times where we did 50%, 60%, 70%, but it became quite lucrative. If you did one of those a day, man.
I was doing it at UT Austin. So like 95% of students lived on West Campus. Well, West Campus was 95% students. So any org I was a part of, it's like, oh, Andres, the locator guy. That's where I started learning about the power of referrals.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it. And so, most people look down a little bit on apartment looking like, oh, you're doing apartment, but it lets you be free enough to do what? Go to class, take your test, do travel.
Pay for college. It allowed me to have fun, like go out, you know, and use my own money. Oh my gosh, it allowed me so much freedom. And then when I was 21, I got a call from a complete stranger. Like those type of calls when they sound so good, like
Hmm.
they're like a scam because they're like, you know what, this sounds too good to be true.
It's a
You know those type of calls you get?
scam. Yeah.
The guy legit, he was calling me and he's like, "Look, I want you to help me buy." And his budget was 1 million to 5 million. So I was
And
like,
you're like, is this a trick? Where
yeah,
am I meeting you in a dark
my
alley?
roommate Otto prank calling me, highly likely, or there's another Andres that lives in the same dorm that has the same friends. And I was like, yeah, obviously that's not it. But I helped that person buy a $1.1 million condo and I made great money. So it was like, wow, it's not only locating that I can do,
Nice.
but as a 21-year-old getting that amount of money, it's like incredible. But my head was also telling me this is a one-off. I'm 21 years
Right,
old,
right, right.
young, and you know how it is.
This isn't going to happen every day. Um, So you did that, you sold, and one of the biggest things is just to kind of give you guys reference, Austin, Texas has been one of the hottest markets for I don't know 10 years now, I think almost. And then and then everybody's kind of experiencing a little slowdown, a little slower of the market. I think we doubled our inventory from last year. Um, but this is the thing, Andreas is also an investor. So, Andreas, one of the biggest things I love about your story is the fact that you house hack. But many people say, well, I just don't make enough money. I'm just fresh out of college. Like, how, what are some insights you can give us on house hacking and what it is?
Yes, for people that don't know what house hacking is, essentially it's when you buy a house, you live in the house for a year, so you get the owner occupant perks, which allows you to buy with as little as 3 to 5% down, meaning that 3 to 5% down of the purchase price. You live in one room and rent out the others. So when I was 23, I was like, I need to find a way to eliminate my living expenses. And I said, you know what? Well, let me see. Maybe I buy a house. Maybe I do something along those lines. And house hacking came along, even though a lot of people were telling me, no, you can't do this. It has to be 20% down. There's a lot of people that are going to hate and say you're not doing the right thing. And there was so many people that told me it's not the right time to buy a house and this and that. But I didn't listen to them. I got the house and I was living for free and making $300 of passive income 2 years ago. This is 2 years ago.
I love it. And what was the little hack? It was all that new construction we had
Oh,
out here in
yes.
Austin, which was insane.
Yeah, new builds were incredible. I mean, in a market when there's so much competition and people are going 100,000 over ask, I was able to lock the house with a $1,000 deposit. And while I locked in, while it was being
Man,
built, it appreciated and appreciated. And now I have a home equity line of credit on that house, and I lend people money with that home equity line of credit.
man, did y'all just hear that, you guys? When he was 23, he said, I got to figure out a way. I tell a lot of people that I know several young men from our church who went three people into a house. They bought it for 176 in Onion Creek. 4 years later, the house is worth 396. And so the guys, like two of them were getting married, the other one was about to get married. They're like, oh, we just sell it and we split it. And so that saved them so much money. And it was the kind of the party house, and they rented the other rooms out because it was like four rooms upstairs, right? And so I always tell people like we look past the simplest answer. Like, man, it's really expensive in Austin. How do y'all live here? We house hack. We buy in a new construction area. So, here's I have my likes and dislikes of new construction because they sometimes
Oh,
get
yeah.
crazy.
Pros and cons for sure.
Would you recommend if someone say, "Hey, man, I love what he just said. I want to buy new construction." What are your recommendations for people getting a realtor when it comes to new construction?
Well, what I always recommend is you have to get a realtor that asks you questions. The person asking the questions is the one that's leading the conversation. Because if someone asks, is it a right time to buy? Well, I need to delve deeper. Like, what are your goals? What are your expectations? What are you looking into? Because if someone says it's the right time to buy without asking questions, they just want the commission, which sucks because there's a lot of people that do that. So it really depends on the goals. But if someone's looking to house hack, and they're looking for the potential of appreciation. That's always speculation, but the potential east of I-35 is great because there's such a path of progress on those sides. Tesla's there, Oracle's there, Samsung is there, Dell is over there, and in Round Rock as well. But east of I-35, there's so much potential, and there's a lot of builders that are under 450,000. So if you want a house hack, the ideal home is a 4 beds, at least 2.5 baths, with 1,800 square feet plus, so that you can get as much rent per room as possible.
For sure. I remember seeing one of our friends' houses and he had the master bedroom. This thing was so big. He had like a desk in there. He was working from home. He had a couch. Then he had the bedroom. I was like, dude, this is crazy.
That's
This is
huge.
crazy. But it was beautiful. And I was like, this makes sense, right? Um, what are some of the things you see as Austin market is changing or softening? Sometimes they say that. What are some of the things you see on the horizon for Austin, Texas?
Wow, it's changed so much. Like, to give you an idea for perspective, median price point in May of 2022, that was the peak, was 677,000. Now in December of 2022, it was 525,000. Look at that adjustment. It's insane. And some people say, oh my gosh, the interest rates are so high and this and that. You really got to pick and choose. Look, interest rates were low. You probably had to compete a lot and more money out of your pocket. Now interest rates are high. Yes, you might be paying a higher monthly payment, but you can negotiate. It's always about what the terms are that makes the deal a great deal.
For sure, for sure. And so now that builders are, I guess, are builders more friendly to realtors now? Are they kind of suggesting more people come, like, hey, we're going to give commissions. Hey, we're going to work
Oh
with
yeah.
you?
Builders are now like, "Hey, Andres, we missed you. We haven't seen you in a while. You should come and get brunch with the and stuff." It's so funny because I see it so much more now, and some that used to pay 1% commission, they're now like, "Please come," and 3% and this and that. So it's been a huge change.
I
Like,
love it.
builders are now offering so much in some even offer 30,000 in incentives. So to give you guys an idea, new builds, what's great about new builds for me is that you get them with a deposit. Usually it's a low deposit, no competition. You get lender incentives. If you go with the builder's preferred lender to keep it in house, they usually give you like 10,000 or more in closing costs, which is great because maybe that's all of your closing costs and you only have to go with the down payment. And then the other thing is that there's warranties. A 1, 2, 10 warranty, 1 year craftsmanship, 2 years HVAC, plumbing, and electric, and 10 years foundation. So there's plenty of pros for the new build. Some people don't like that it's like in the path of progress. So you might have to drive a bit out. But for me, I'm like, look, I don't mind at all.
Well, people used to think Hutto was too far out. Now look at people going Hutto.
Oh
People
my
used to think Georgetown was too far out. People used to Round Rock. Oh, you live in Round Rock? That's crazy. And
Cougars.
now that's
Oh,
just like people's daily commute.
yeah, no, that's so true. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So a little weird house hack story I'll share with the audience and Andreas. My friend bought a house over off of you call it Runberg, but it basically is. And so you know where the stadium is. If you go around the corner where there's the Jack in the Box at that light, you go down from the stadium. There's the Jack in the Box. You turn left. She was in that neighborhood, right? I'm trying to, we're protecting our identities and our part where we lived. But anyway, so she lived over there. She bought the house for 282. A year and a half later, it was worth 400,000. So
Insane.
the neighbor across the street, I'm like, hey, I would totally buy your house. And he's like, oh, you guys are a bunch of girls living over there. So I have a girl who's a financial analyst making 150 a year. I have the other girl who works at Samsung as an engineer making 182 a year. I'm over there making my YouTube money and goofing off with my painter money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'll buy your house. Seriously. He's like, you don't have no money. I'm like, I promise you, we're all roommates because it's convenient. Like we're it's a house hack, and like, but people didn't understand what that meant, right? But some of these areas that people complain about in 2, 3 years, the houses are worth double
My
almost.
house, the first one was on Runberg. It's
Hmm.
in Pioneer Hills. It's a DR Horton community. Bought it for 286K. Now it's worth about 450. It used to be worth like 520. Now 450. But I have a line of credit. And like I said, I'm a hard money lender, meaning that I have a 120,000 line of credit. And if I use it, I get charged an interest of 5.75%, but I lend at a 9%. So I make money off of that. It's just crazy. I mean, hard money lending and just what real estate can do for you.
So now you're like, look at you. You're only like 25. You got the baby face, but you're literally a real estate agent. You bought a home with house hacking. You were able from the equity to become a hard money lender. Think about that. How much your life has changed in what, 2, 3 years from buying one home?
And it's so actually the house I'm living in right now is my second, and then I have a third house. So this
Nice.
second house was a new build as well. And this is what's crazy about it. Usually you need to do a 1 year living in the house to get another one with a low down payment. So the way I got around that is that okay, new builds. Let's put it under contract. And during the time that it's built, my price is locked, but I'm not living in it. So it's fine if I lock the price. So when I bought my first house, 3 months later, I put my second house under contract. And within 9 months to complete that year, it was finished. And I got in with like 100,000 in equity because I had locked the price 3 months after my first one. Then
Love
my
it.
second one, another new build investment property. That's when I put 20% down. Oh, but it's been insane. New builds has been incredible.
Love it. Love it. You guys, $1,000. If you guys are enjoying the content that we're putting out today, definitely drop a one in the comments. I always love to see pitch check the vibe check. I love it. So I mean, so now you have three properties basically,
Yes.
and you're a hard money lender.
Yes.
What was scary about becoming a hard money lender? Because some people, I tell them about hard money lender, like I don't know. explain hard money lending and if what your experience has been with it.
Of course. So I only lend to people I trust, obviously, and that have a great track record. So one of my friends, Nico, he needed money for a flip. He needed about 60K. And what I did, regardless if we're really good friends or not, everything has to be in writing and expectations have always have to be set. So we drew up a promissory note on Rocket Lawyer. That's the promise to pay.
I love it.
Yeah, it's the promise to pay 60,000 and I charged 2 points. So to give you an idea, 2 points is 2% of that price. So Nico paid me 1,200 right away, and then the note was a 9% interest rate. So every month I was making money, and this it was a 6 month expiration because it's hard money loan. So I
Mhm.
got like 4,000 in profit, and I just lent that money that I was not going to use. That it was part of my house, you know. So it was incredible.
I love it. I love it. You guys, again, don't have to overcomplicate this stuff. People be thinking, hard money lender. Oh no, what am I going to do? It's like, relax.
Yeah,
There's a lot of opportunity out there. And there's a lot of companies in Austin that capital companies. We have over 3,000 capital companies that will also gladly take your 100K and they'll go make it work for you and give you some money on it.
oh,
So
yeah.
that's the beauty of Austin for sure. Um, what is the importance, because I see you work on a team and I'm going to show people your Instagram, is that okay? I
Yeah,
just,
of
yeah, it's
course.
very, I like it, I think it's cute. I was like, he's got the pizzazz on there. um you know so this is right, you guys, this is Andres Bustatx. You guys can definitely check it out here. I like your Instagram. It's enjoyable. I think it's very professional and it's funny. You did hurt your leg there a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
um I'm glad to see you're better though.
Thank you.
uh one thing I noticed is you were working with a team, and I thought, wow, that's amazing. Like, what are the importance of a team?
Oh my gosh. The importance of a team if you're barely starting off, always the one thing I recommend everyone is mentorship. You want someone that's already made the mistakes. Well, I call them lessons. The lessons that you don't have to learn anymore because the team has already learned through that. So they teach you the ways. You get to shadow people. You get to be on calls with people that are like top individuals. You learn how to negotiate. So the power of being on a team has been probably one of the reasons where I'm at right now. We're a team of 8 agents, 3 transaction coordinators, and the 2 main agents, Victor Nino and Diego Corzo, are incredible. They're my mentors and really good friends, and they've taught me so much about real estate. Not just real estate, but life in general, like how to
Mhm.
be a good person, how to solve problems, how to be a storyteller, how to be an educator. Because as real estate agents, we're storytellers, we're problem solvers, we're
Mhm.
educators.
I love it. I love it, you guys. Definitely. I mean, your page is inspiring. Even for me, who I'm not a real estate agent anymore. It's inactive. I don't even care about that. I just did it for like the experience. You know what I mean? I was
Yes.
one of those people like, yeah, I took the test, right? Um, and I did a little bit of apartment locating, but I was like, I like YouTube, so we'll go back over here, right? So
I love
I
that.
I got accustomed to the inbound marketing where they just come to me, right? I got
Hey,
accustomed to it.
that's the name of the game.
Hey, and it's been a good ride. So I love that like he's showing here steps, $1 million club. He's showing a good mindset, the consistency factor, and also that young people can buy a home, right? I love it that it's the Nino team. Of course, if you guys get a chance to check out his Instagram page, you'll see a lot of this good content. I just am very much impressed by you. So that's why
Yeah, I really
I
appreciate
gave
that.
that I gave that heads up. You guys are looking sharp. They look like telenovela sharp out here. I said, look at this team. I thought with Days of Our Lives in Spanish or something was about to come on. I was like, oh, I'm not even ready.
Next novela coming up.
Okay, so there was a few questions inside the page, so I'm definitely going to make sure
Perfect.
you guys get those questions answered. So we're going to go ahead and get this first one in here. Let me pull this down right here real quick though. Hey, Erica, I'm not sure if you're taking any questions. I was wondering, does he think house hacking will work even for a married person with a kid?
I love that question, Alonso, and thanks for asking that. Yes, now there's one thing about house hacking that not a lot of people talk about. It's the fact that you can get a duplex, triplex, or fourplex. So it really depends on the situation. You know what? Definitely understandable, married and have a kid. You probably don't want to live in the same house as other people. So you can get a duplex. You live in one unit and rent out the other unit. Now, the expectations in Austin, you probably will not be cash flowing because now home prices are where they're at and
Mhm.
interest rates are different. But the thing is, you want to see real estate as the four pillars: appreciation, equity savings, then you're looking at tax. Now you're saving on taxes. There is a lot of ways to defer taxes through real estate, which is one of the best things ever. And then I've already spoken about appreciation, but it's forced or natural appreciation, which is actually incredible. So it's either you're paying rent to someone or you're building equity. So you really choose what you want to do. So to answer that question, it's a duplex, triplex, or fourplex, what I would recommend.
Awesome, awesome. And also ADUs. Austin's very famously known for ADUs, where it's a additional dwelling unit in the back. So, if you had a house and then you have enough space for that second driveway and that little building behind you, it's a perfect opportunity for that as well. You have That's my goal, to be a hard money lender. Thank you, Tammy. Question: when getting into a new construction home with a small deposit, are you finding them on sites like Realtor.com, Zillow, or Redfin?
Quentin, sometimes Zillow does not put them on or Realtor.com either. I don't know why builders aren't that good at doing these things. I used to find them when I was barely looking by looking up big builders like DR Horton or Lennar and then just doing my research. But now, thankfully, that I've been a realtor for a while now actually like 8 years because I started when I was 19. Now I'm 26. I know kind of like if you say I'm looking for this and that, I know exactly what builders. But yeah, it's a bit hard finding them on Zillow or anything. A realtor will probably be your best bet. And if you need help, feel free to just send me a message on Instagram.
He said, hit him in the DMs. Goes down in DMs. Someone said, I want to be a transaction coordinator. Okay, got you. Dr. Cassidy Sandridge said, do you only lend for investment properties?
Not necessarily, but I do want kind of like a fast liquidity, so 6 months, 3 months, because I potentially have other opportunities to use
Yeah.
that money.
And you guys, this is very common. Like 3 months. I know one guy, he was like, I'm short. I need a 90-day loan. I'll pay 21%. I have to get this construction done. And I was like, whoa.
Yes,
So
there's
it
always
happens.
opportunities. Yes.
It really does happen often. Alonso said, thank you for the insight for sure. He says there's rarely any homes under 100K nowadays. I was just looking at homes for sale. What would be your recommendations?
That was maybe like 20 years ago, if any, that they were under 100K. Focus, don't really focus on the price. Yes, obviously the price will dictate your monthly payments. I'd say the biggest thing is what is your monthly payment that you want to stay under and what's your goal with purchasing a house. Then from there you kind of reverse engineer it. Yeah, in Austin, you probably won't find anything under 350K unless it's like,
Man, you're going to Cal Buda.
yeah, exactly.
You're going past Cal Buda, actually, San Marcos.
Oh
You're
yeah.
at this point, you're going to San Marcos. You making something in San Marcos, to be honest. Um, she said, how do you qualify your borrower for your hard money loan?
It's more so me knowing my people. I
Mm-hmm.
don't lend to like everyone, and if I do, I'll
Mm-hmm.
definitely have to vet you and maybe kind of background check and all these things
Yeah.
if I'm not familiar with the person. But the people I lend to right now are people that I really, really trust and are good friends.
You guys, I'm gonna just tell you now. The way I got a land lot for 80K, and the and the construction is 100% with the hard money lender. But the person that knew I was buying it was like, "Oh, you're working with that builder? You're gonna finish in like 90 days. Like, here's this hard money lender for here hard money loan for 6 months to buy the land." So really, it's a combination. You guys, there's so many people out here, and I'll just throw her name. Like, I don't work with Hard Money Kelly, but her name is literally Hard Money Kelly on Instagram.
That has a rhyme
Not
to
I
it.
know she's the nicest little lady with her kid, and her Instagram page is like her on a farm, like, like they do big numbers. So there's hard money lenders out there. Don't be afraid to address people, approach people. The reason that property gets built so fast is some of these builders work faster than others, and some of these people are like small spec construction folks. So that's not standard. It's usually 4 to 8 months, but everybody's different. So
Yes, that's so important. Expectations. I've had some builders take a year plus. So
man, yeah.
expectations are important.
um, he said, "How did you learn to do the hard money lending thing? Did someone teach you?"
Oh, not real. I mean, my mentors and the people I've surrounded myself with, it's kind of crazy. I've heard it so much. I wasn't really taught it, but I've heard it a lot in conversation that it's like, hey, I actually can do this. We kind of have a imposter syndrome, and especially I feel like at when I was in college and helping people starting off, I was like, am I worthy? Or it's really about how confident you are in asking the right questions. So I asked my mentor about this and he kind of explained it. Then I looked it up on Rocket Lawyer and I did my own research and that's how I learned about it.
What are some of the things if someone said, "Hey, man, I want to be a real estate agent"? What were some of the things you would tell them? As you know, it's a very popular topic. You know, they see Texas in the news. They're like, "Man, Texas is selling houses like pancakes. It's great out there." What are some of the things you would tell them, or in a cautionary tale, or just in a positive way about being a real estate agent and why and all that good stuff?
Oh, there's so many pros and cons to it. Honestly, it's a double-edged sword because you're an independent contractor. I am someone, if I showed you my schedule, you might go crazy because my schedule is color coded. Like every minute, I know what it's dedicated for.
Right.
So I know when I can do podcasts. I know when I can show homes. And I'll make time if someone can't is not compatible, but you're an independent contractor. You don't sell, you don't make money. So having your own schedule and keeping your word is important. You keep your word with yourself, you become a confident person. Now, another thing that I would say if you're barely starting, getting a mentor is the most important thing. The most important thing. And then knowing who your target audience is and using social media to target those people. It's crucial. Crucial.
So technically, you did what, 37 sales, 37 closings, and like what year was that?
This was last year and 2 years ago I did about the same. The difference though, this past year I did way more traveling and like my team, my agents were like taking care of some of my
Right.
transactions. I do most of it, but while I was in Europe for a month, I was like, "Hey guys, I have like 3 closings. Help me out with that." And I talked to my clients in Europe. I was like taking care of all the things, but that's what real estate has allowed me to do, which is
He's
incredible.
just out there in Spain, drinking wine,
Oh,
dancing in the streets. Like, oh, I got a closing today. Hold on.
yeah.
But that's beautiful. That's the thing. It's like because of the commitment and because of the investment in the new construction, it allowed you to have that freedom.
Yes. But
And
it's
people get really scared of homeowner. Like, I don't know. And I'm like, listen, you guys are way overthinking it as far as home ownership. Yes, it's a responsibility. Yes, you have maintenance. But at the end of the day, a lot of younger people, we know a lot of people who were roommates for 4 or 5 years in these different apartment complexes, like tossing money out the wind, right?
if you yes, and one thing I will say is I would not recommend, and a lot of people will be like, what, buying a primary home unless you maybe live in and rent out the others, like I'm saying, because that's a mortgage. Now, what you want to consider though, if you're renting and it costs you more, than yes, buy a home because it'll go to your towards your equity. But yeah, buying a primary home, you got to be smart about it and maybe have investments that cover that mortgage.
I love it. I love it. So I love it. I love the conversation. Good stuff. I love it. What are some things I was trying to think? You guys have any more questions? Put them in the comments. I love real estate. I could talk about it all day, but I'm not going to suck up his whole afternoon. But a lot of what I want people to understand is make a decision, follow a path, and work with a team. It really can be that simple. I saw that you went to several different conferences on your Instagram. What was one of the ones that kind of surprised you or gave you some kind of like new perspective on things?
One that I went to was Cedar Trunk Ranch with Devin Levesque. He's like this big entrepreneur and athlete, amazing people. And it wasn't really for real estate, but it was more so kind of entrepreneurs and gym type of people. And it was amazing because I mean, it doesn't only have to be real estate, and it's so important the mindset because everyone was kind of like in the general vicinity of, oh, the mindset's important, yes, this and that, but also a lot of business owners. Like it doesn't have to be real estate, but if you have something like YouTube, like your business or something that can make you a passive income and that's something that you enjoy that allows you to live the life that you enjoy, and you have the option to know when you want to work or not. That's what's incredible about the wealth building because I mean, me, I'm not a fan of the 8 to 5. That's just me. It doesn't allow me the freedom. But through real estate and through building your own business and everything, it has allowed me to do things that I would not have been able to do if I was sticking to the normal jobs.
I love it. It's beautiful. Thank you. You guys, listen, if you be ever been in Austin traffic at 9 in the morning, you know what he's talking about. It's like, no, thank you. I'll pass.
Yes, not fun at all.
At all. All right, you guys, listen. This is your girl, Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I have put Andreas's information in the chat. I'll also put it in the top pin comment. If you guys have questions about real estate, you want to have questions about different things, I'd love for you guys to reach out to him, grow his social media, help him out there. I think I have one more question. Sorry, I didn't mean to skip you. Um, are you familiar with Divvy Homes, rent to own homes? What are your thoughts?
Divvy, I have not heard of Divvy, but I have heard of rent to own homes. I'd really want to look deeper into kind of what does that entail and how much of the rent goes towards the down payment. Yeah, I'd want more information, but I mean, it could be a great way to kind of start your path into home ownership. But I have not done my research on the Divvy
Sure.
homes. Yeah.
One more thing I want to say is over of Palmer by Samsung. What are your thoughts about what that corridor is going to look like?
At Parmer. So,
Yeah, you know where Samsung is coming and right
oh
across the
yeah.
street.
Oh
It's
my
gonna be
gosh.
crazy.
Insane. I mean, you got Samsung, you got your tech corridor right there, Dell, GM, Home Depot. Insane. And East Village, which is on Howard Lane, is
Hmm.
going to be about 350 acres of mixed use. Northeast Austin, Path of Progress, that's probably where you'll get most appreciation because of the big tech corridor and all the things that are coming. It's insane. I mean,
I'm trying to convince a few friends. I'm like, you should get new construction over here. They're like, no, it's gonna be all these apartments everywhere. I'm like, no, they're gonna build this thing up. It's gonna have like a mini domain over here.
Village, it's gonna be insane. That's where I was building one of my houses.
Oh, I love it, love it. So you guys, listen again. Reach out to him, hit him up on the social media. I love your feedback. I love your energy. We'll definitely see each other soon in a meetup. So, I'll take some
Yes,
pictures in person.
perfect, perfect.
Yeah. So, anyways, you guys, Andres, tell them where they can find you one more time on social media, or also Keller Williams. You can let them give them the close out of your social media handles.
Yeah, so Instagram or TikTok, it's Andres Busta TX, AndresBustatx. And I'm active on TikTok a lot as well. I probably post more on TikTok actually. And then yeah, Instagram as well. That's where you can DM me.
All right, you guys. I put his Instagram here. I'll also tag it to the pin it to the first comment. Thank you so much, Millsap, for the $5 super sticker. The salute. It'll be a $5 drink to our guest here next week sometime when I see him.
I love
Just
that.
give him that super sticker. Okay. All right, Andres. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you coming through today.
Thank you, Erica. I appreciate you.
Have a great night.
You too.